All right. Well, hey, team. It is November 10th. I am Dee Corchin. I am glad you guys are here for our weekly team time. Was just showing the latest release video about metabolic dysfunction with metabolic synchronization. So this is a new marketing tool that's available. It's about 3 minutes, but it is something you can share. So if you've got somebody that you're talking to about the program or you're talking to about the business opportunity, et cetera, like it is available. So I think that's great. Welcome to all you guys here. I see a couple of faces I haven't seen in a while. So
Mm.
hi, Stephanie Nealon. I see you there, and to Robin, and so good to see you guys here. I was sharing with a coach today. We were saying the great thing about Optavia is the train is moving, and right now the train is moving fast, but you can get on or off at any time. Like our train is always open. So I'm glad you're here, and the stuff that we have going on is really excited. So we're in the month of November. I always like to start with something positive. So let's start. You can either just come off mute and say it or pop it in the chat. But what is one thing that you are grateful for right now that is related to this call, like your program, your health, this community? What is something you are grateful for right now? We can pop it in the chat.
Hey there.
Hey.
I am grateful that it is this time November instead of last time November because I started the day after Thanksgiving and I've lost 70 pounds and got a whole new life. So November has become a special month for me and I'm just glad I'm where I'm at this year than last year. So next year I'll be even better. I'm excited. I'll be going
Yeah,
for
that's
Miss Kelly.
incredible,
Yay!
Ellen. We're so happy for you. That's a great story to share. I know you do great sharing your personal journey, but the fact you started, I mean, you could have done what so many do and wait till January, but you chose that day after Thanksgiving, and look what happened in a year. So
Right. That's
very
right.
good. Very good. Meg, you've got a new client that's rocking it?
Yes. So I have a new client, like brand new to the program, referral, and she is doing great on plan. She started while she was traveling, which blows my mind that she just started. And she was like, you know what? Like I feel so much better than I did a week ago. And she's at a conference where she's sending me videos of all the desserts they have out. And she's like, it makes me mad, but I know if I eat those, I'm going to feel gross and I don't want to feel bad. So anyway, she is doing great, and it's just encouraging to see her success.
That is so good. Yeah, there's nothing better, right? Than I know, and it's something I know we all want. And if you don't have, they're not there yet, it's coming. But a new client, yeah, I've got two right now that are doing great. One just started today, and it's just so fun when they respond. Like they're just so excited about what's possible. And it's fun, I think, with what we have coming with the metabolic health to even be talking to them in broader terms about their health. It's not just the number on the scale, but really what's happening. So good things I saw about the community, feeling connected. So that is all awesome. I wanted, Kelly, did you want to say something? I
I
see you came
did.
off
I have one
mute.
little thing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Um, I just heard from a client today that I wanted to mention this because, we always had the stories of people that, they get on plan, they do great, they're doing great, they're doing whatever. And, and yeah, they have missteps and whatnot. But I have a different one today. I'm been helping a couple that's in their 70s, 73 and 71. And they, mentioned that, and they've been doing really well. And so, but she actually had a heart attack on Saturday, and she's back home. They did a stent, and she's back home today. They called me and they said, "We have to talk to you." They said, "We know she would have been gone." He said, "I would have lost her if we hadn't already been working with you because you had already made things, reverse that would have been there." And the doctors admitted that, yeah, that the changes they've already been making. And then they gave her this heart healthy diet and they said, we're already doing all this, And so they were just very pleased. And but he said, yeah, she would have been gone. I would have been a widow right now if we hadn't been working with you. So there's things like that happen. People, it doesn't mean that things don't still happen sometimes to people, but she'd already had this process occurring for years and years and years before she started with me. She goes, yeah, I was playing fast and loose with my diet for a long time before I came across you. So that makes a difference, that for people to say they realize that they're, things that's a big deal. And rather than them saying, well, why didn't you keep it from happening? They're saying, I'm so glad we worked with you, and because it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
So.
Well, people aren't stupid, right? Like, she knows what she was doing in the past, and that led to a lot of it. Thank goodness. Like, it's such a powerful testimony that she's in, like, now she's got the tools and she can continue to improve from here, and it's not as bad as it could have been. And I think that's what really is great, is that it's so easy. And I will admit that I can get caught up, or have in the past, in just the weight loss piece of this, just thinking about the number on the scale, fitting better in the pants, the things that people talk about often. But what the true story is what's happening on the inside. And that's where our huge opportunity is, in awareness, raising awareness in the community, and then offering the incredible solution that we have with the clinical studies that back it. So that is good. All right. I would like for Debbie Pasco to share, because we do a weekly mentoring call. Last week, Debbie's doing great, focusing on her own health, actively, somebody who stays consistent. And just a week ago, she was like, I feel like everybody's just on hold and nothing's really happening right now. Nobody's ready. And then you had a different story today.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I started doing all the things, when they said, okay, go on plan, get yourself back on track, and start posting, and here are things that you can be doing. I was like, okay, fine. And I was doing it, and it was, as everything else in the world works, like, you don't start and then instantly see the response to what you did. But I've watched it kind of developing, and it was funny because, like, last week I heard from a number of people, wow, that post that you did on Facebook earlier this week was really good, or wow, so it was feedback that I had not been getting prior, that I was now getting. But then I just feel like over the weekend and today, I've had so much happen. I guess maybe starting Friday, because I went to my networking meeting, and people there were like, let me talk to you. So let me see. I have 2 people right now who said yes. I did 2 health assessments today, and one of them was a woman who was like, I want to do this, but I want to bring my husband on board. So let me talk with him, and then I'll, so I was like, great, I'll talk to you tomorrow. So I've got, like, so many things. I've got 2 former clients who are wanting to jump in, and I'm sorry, but they have not been clients in so long. I'm like, yep, we'll do the scale and everything. Like, I'm ready to help them get back on track if that's what they're ready to do. And I did get ghosted by one person, but I'm thinking, like, ratio wise, that's not so bad. I'm really excited about a number of these people. One of them is a priest, and he needs it. And I'm just, like, so excited that I get to be part of, like, helping somebody that I respect and admire. And I've gone to him for mentorship before, like, I've been like, I have to deal with this problem. How do I work this out? So it's like, we get to kind of, it's just the coolest thing. So I'm just really feeling very blessed. And then I will say, so we're Catholic. The second reading at Mass this past Sunday was the one where they talked about your body as a temple of the Holy Spirit. And I just feel like all of it's, like, boom, coming together. And so, yeah, just, I don't know, it just definitely works. Like, if you just keep doing the thing, it starts to snowball. You don't even realize it was snowballing earlier because it wasn't noticeable yet. But then now there's just this momentum that I'm like, oh, slow down, people. What a great problem, right?
Yeah, we're not pumping the brakes, Debbie. Come on.
No, I'm just kidding. It's a joke.
Yeah. But isn't it right? Like, if you think about, we kind of went through a period where it felt like we weren't talking to people, whatever, but there is definitely a resurgence of, like, a new energy with all of us. I can feel it in your posts, those that I see that are being active with this. And people see it and they feel it. Our energy is everything. And our excitement about this. So.
my energy is different for sure. Like before it was kind of like talking to people and being like, I hope it's for you, like not that I would say that, but I'd be thinking it, and now it's like, I'm so excited. This is just so cool. We did this clinical trial recently. It was held to a higher standard. So like the FDA was, involved in blah, blah, blah. And so now we can say, and so I know that the energy is coming off, and even like the wording from the document that Dan Valentine gave, I used to say, well, it's going to be blah, blah, blah. And that gets you 30 days or 28 days of blah, 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 and the coaching and I know that it's not like a food for food, like it's not, but just the wording where it says, here's what you get with your enrollment. For 364, you're going to get your 30 days or your 28 days of the food. You're going to get the metabolic scale. You're going to get the coaching and the like just the way that rolls off the tongue. It just sounds like, I mean, it is such a deal, but it reflects what you're getting in a better way than what I was saying before. So.
So
Yeah.
much value, and
Mhm.
really brings in also that connection with the coach. Like you're going to get the kickoff call, you're going to get support when you're, all of that. And that is key. I mean, yes, they did the studies on the program, but remember that we are the driving force of those results with clients is when they are doing that in conjunction with their coach. So talking like that. So big round of applause from all of us to you, Debbie, for your consistent action, staying kind of through those emotions and highs and lows, because it always comes. It always comes, and you're seeing that. So, all right. So you were talking about, you're so excited about what you can say, whatnot. Last week we touched on it, and I don't want to spend too much time on this tonight because I want to keep the focus on what's coming and what we're going to be able to do to invite people to learn more about this movement in metabolic health. But Optavia did release this week the guidelines for what we can and can't say at this point regarding weight loss, regarding, sorry. Let's go back to it first. Can you see my screen? Somebody give me a verbal yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So there is updated info. You can go to coachanswers.com, search compliance, and all of this is here. There's also a Facebook post with this, but there is updated info in here in terms of, yes, we do need to still use the disclaimers for weight loss. So, on your images or clearly in your text where somebody can read it without scrolling on a post. Definitely have to put those weight loss disclaimers in. We do have now weight loss data for the 5 and 1 active, for the 4, 2, and 1, and the 4 and 2 active. So those guidelines are in here in terms of what you can say. The weight loss is slightly different. Instead of the average weight loss of 12 pounds, it's 10 pounds. So you want to be aware of those. And it also has in there what the average waist circumference reduction is, etc. There is caution not to use, don't mention weight loss on things like the Nursing Moms program, the optimization plan, diabetes plan, et cetera, because we do not have clinical studies to back that. No guarantees of anything, being careful with that, using timeframes. And then again, like we talked about last week, with things about the big four, type 2 diabetes, cholesterol, triglycerides, high blood pressure, insulin sensitivity. If you personally experienced a positive impact of that, you can say that in your own testimonial. They don't want you to say my cholesterol dropped by 40 points. You can say, as a result of my weight loss, I also saw improvement in my cholesterol numbers too. Maybe you can say I'm in the normal range, something like that. So we're all independent contractors. So it is up to you as an independent coach to go and seek out this information and make sure that you are doing it appropriately. I would hate for anybody to get caught up in a compliance issue. So the best you can, if you're talking about the business, using the Optavia disclaimer for income is critical. So I'd be real careful around that. But they want us out there sharing. They want us sharing about these huge advancements. We just want to make sure, since so much has been done with the research, to make sure that we're doing it in alignment with what the government says is okay to do. So questions around that? Shauna?
Do we have to go, it may have been in there, but I couldn't see. Do we have to go back now and change the disclaimer on previous photos and
I
posts?
wouldn't. I
Okay.
wouldn't spend your time doing that. If I only occasionally, like I have gotten, and it's been a long time, like received a letter and then they would say like, please go back 60 days or something and adjust anything. But I don't think you need to. I would just kind of, this was just released. I would
Okay.
just take it from here.
Okay.
Yeah, great question. All right. Well, before we jump into our next thing, I want Stephanie Sweeney to share. Stephanie is definitely somebody who I've seen a surge in energy, a shift in her posting. She's leading the pack right now with 2 new clients already this month. And she had a suggestion that maybe we do our own team call to share about this program, this movement, this opportunity. So, Stephanie, if you wouldn't mind just sharing a little bit what's your experience and what are you excited about?
Yeah, and excuse me, I'm getting over something, so if I sound congested, or have to mute myself for a minute, I will. I'm just loving the fact that we get to, claim, and I think I mentioned this last team time, that, all of these different things that the studies have shown that actually have happened to our clients, and for me personally too, with my A1C dropping. And so, and focusing even though we have a metabolic scale that I'm using a lot with my recent posts, I love the fact that that scale shows the visceral fat and your metabolic age. And it's so helpful for me just to get back on track as well. I was really excited when my most recent client, when I asked her what made her reach out, and she said it was really about your post about how when you involve yourself with the community and a coach, that you're 10 times more likely to lose weight, and you're 17 times more likely to drop body fat, and 90% of your muscle mass is retained. And she said that she actually has done Optavia many years ago, but never connected with her coach and never connected with the community. And so she wants to get back on with the community that has that focus. So that was exciting then too. And then I have another client that was recently new, and she's loving the Let's Talk series. And she said, she's like, are we going to dive more into the metabolic reset that you've been posting about? And so that like got me thinking, like, what if we had something like with our team that we could because we all have stories that we can share personally. We all have new clients or perhaps previous clients that are getting back on plan, and that maybe have gone through struggles. And we have this solution. And so as we're growing and educating ourselves through the metabolic resets, that we could just bring in our community and our clients and prospective clients, and just have kind of a sharing stories and maybe next steps of what where we can go when we do have those struggles, and focus on those statistics that we have and the studies that we have that are showing the big solutions that we have as Optavia.
Yeah, that is so good. Yeah, people are paying attention. I love that she said it was because of the 10 times, results working with the coach. I was at a social event this weekend and the topic of weight loss or whatever came up and metabolic health. And I was sharing that I was excited about what was happening. This person's not familiar with Optavia, but very intentional around health. And she said, I'll tell you one thing, and this was her, not me. She said, with everything that's out there and AI and all that, she said, you cannot the most powerful thing is the human connection, and that will never go away in when it comes to humans and humans making change, because so much of it is mental as well. So I really, this is a huge opportunity for us to re-engage with inactive clients, maybe ones that did not fully engage before, to really just share and talk and say, hey, like, would you like a restart, like a reset, do it differently. We have studies that show this, like, what if this was the thing that really helped move it for you? So such an opportunity for bringing on new and really incorporating them into the whole system, but also inviting inactives back into it. So Ask and you shall receive, because I am always trying to do things that will help move us forward. And, you know, we have opportunity calls, information calls. We've been tapping into the Valentines, and Dan Bell did one the other day. But sometimes I think there's power in us doing things. I'm not always a big one for duplicating what's always out there, but I think that there can be power in our community, because you know that when you invite somebody, you know who's going to be there, you know who will probably be speaking or will share in advance who's speaking. But it brings it more into community environment. And we will do this call. We will use speaker view and presenter view, but I don't have the webinar feature, and I don't think we need to go that route yet. So it'll be like this. It will be more of a homey call. If somebody doesn't want to be on screen, they can certainly be on with their camera off, but we'll encourage participation. So, and Stephanie, I think you and I are in some of the same social networking groups. I think you have seen, like I have, there's been kind of a surge in people starting to ask weight loss questions again as well, don't you think?
Y- Yeah, there is. There was in one of our it's called East Cobb Moms, just the neighborhood Facebook pages, and there was a mom that posted saying, I'm 5'2", I'm 145 pounds, I have no clothes to wear that feel right. Where are you guys buying clothes? I'm the heaviest I've ever been. Um, and people were going in there saying, go to Amazon, go here, go there. And I thought, it made me feel like, oh my gosh, I was there. I was sitting, and then I just started typing. It was like, I just started typing and saying, I was where you were. I sat in my closet and cried because I had 3 different sizes of clothes on there. And if you're wanting a metabolic reset and get back to a healthy weight for your own body, then connect with me, and we'll go out and celebrate and clothes shop for your the right size for you. And several people liked the comment, and not this one particular person that posted, but somebody else went into private message and said, I saw your post, or I saw your response. Can we please connect? So we actually have a health assessment later this week. So yeah, it just was like, I'm just going to take bravery out of it, and just go. She wasn't asking for a weight loss. She was asking for clothes.
Yeah, but wow, way to handle that in such a way that met her where she was, but then showed possibilities. So that's incredible. Incredible. All right, so here's what's happening. So I'm going to share my screen. All of this information I put also in a Google Doc for you guys, because I've got some sample wording you can use, etc. But we are going to do this team, I don't know what we want to call it, but team reset call that is going to be next Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. So this is Tuesday, the 18th, 1 week from tomorrow. This is for, I'll go through about who to invite, but this is an image you can use on social, in your text, in emails, however you want to do it. It will be on Zoom in this Zoom room. And we can hold up to 100 people in this room. So I think we'll be in good shape there. That's the other great thing about doing our own call, is like if we go on the Valentine's call and it's huge and the room is full, then we don't know where to send, where the people are going. So, so that is that. I'm going to quickly go through this. Dr. A is going to be speaking about his new book, My Prescription for Life, on the community call. So I want you to be able to go over there if you'd like. But what you can expect on this call, you guys, is it's going to be 30 minutes. My goal is to keep it at 30 minutes. We're going to do an overview of the metabolic struggle in a very relatable way. Just like all the stuff that you've been seeing coming, we'll present it in that way. We'll present what we have as the solution, clinical data, coach support, etc., why it all works together. We will primarily talk about the program and the coach support and community. We will do a light touch on the movement itself and the need for coaches and how that can be an opportunity. We'll do a light touch on that. And then, as Stephanie said, we will do powerful stories from our team. So more will come on that, on who will be featured. But I know Meg will be involved, Stephanie will be involved, and we're working with others. And if you have recommendations, would love to hear. My suggestion is you start your invites on Wednesday, the 12th. Sometimes if you put Tuesday, the 18th or whatever, people can get confused thinking it's tomorrow night, etc. So if it was up to me, I would do it either late Tuesday night or Wednesday. But invite your clients to this, your inactive clients, your not yets, your candidates for the program for coaching. All of that are great individuals to invite. And we always talk about this, but a personal invite is always going to be best. So if you've got somebody on mind, that personal voice text, that personal text, however you would typically communicate with somebody, is going to be important. But you can also send a mass email. I've got 23,000 or whatever, people on my inactive list or whatever, so I can't reach them all, but I will send an email to them, etc. You can put it out there for social media awareness. I wouldn't do what's called a spray and pray, is just put it out there on social media and hope some people come, because we don't have a registration system, we don't have, etc. It's going to be hard for you to know who's there and who's there as your invite without having a more specific process in place. Always a good idea to do a confirm and a reminder the day of. If you've spoken to somebody and they said, yes, I would like to attend, a follow-up 24 hours after the event to see if they actually watched it. I encourage that you ask permission to send a replay. Like, for example, I might reach out to Shauna and say, hey, the call was last night. I'm excited to hear what you thought about it. What were your takeaways? And if they say I didn't see it, then say, would you like me to send the replay? Get that permission from them. So I also I just use Chat GPT. So, and this is all in the document. There is a sample social media post, a sample, and you can revise this, use Chat GPT to just help it sound like you, sample email that you could send out to individuals, sample text invite, sample reminder text, sample, and then also sample about follow-up. And the follow-up is always going to be key, you guys. And I love this line, and it's at the bottom. It said, and if what you heard got you thinking it's time for your own reset, let's chat about how to get you started. You could put some sort of invite about that in there. One question, would it be helpful to you guys if we had like a registration link that people could register for this event to help you kind of keep track of it? Would that be helpful for you guys? Okay. All right. The image does have the Zoom link on it, but you could also have that registration link too to help keep you informed. So we can definitely create that. And I can send an email out with all of this information as well. So questions, are you excited about this? Yes, I see some yeses. Okay, cool. All right, I will post everything tomorrow in this, all the documents, all the follow-up. We'll create the Google form for registration. Welcome your suggestions. It's kind of first time we're getting back into doing these kind of things. We're going to want your feedback on it, your input for who could be good stories. And then we'll also want your input on how frequently to do something like this, because we're definitely doing this to support you in your acquisition and support efforts. So. All right. Well, very good. We will hop off. Dr. A is talking about My Prescription for Life, his new book, on the community call. And if you'd like to join in, we're always welcome to join in Dan Bell's coach call at 8:30. So, all right. Thanks, you guys.